Psychic Fang forces the final shield. We then look to stop with Ninetales. We get the Ember farm down. The opponent send in Wall Face for far too long. This stupid brick wall's been scaring off fire types. Well, it's time for redemption. Welcome back to their channel. Today we've got an incredible battle submission from Spooky Boy. Today is going to be a longer intro. So for those of you that just want to jump ahead to the battles, I'm going to post a timestamp in the description down below. This is going to be a longer intro because there is so much going on. If you look to the left, all three Pokemon are using new moves. Let's start things off talking about Shadow Giraffe. With access to Double Kick and Psychic Fangs, it is super spammy, applying them debuffs to the opponent's defense. However, this season it has access to Trailblaze, so it can now actually boost its own attack as well. So it's going to be such an annoying threat. Is Trailblaze the move to go for, or do you want Thunderbolt? I'm unsure personally, but we're going to find out today. The next Pokemon we're going to be taking a look at is Shadow Nonrtales. We did feature this Pokemon in yesterday's video. However, Ben, the featured battler yesterday, was running that Overheat nuke, and my god did it land. So I personally am still of the opinion that Overheat might be the way to go. However, we did get access to Scorching Sands this season. I've not seen Scorching Sands in action, so today the jury will be out. Do you want Overheat or do you want Scorching Sands? We're actually also running Legacy Ember. Ember offers more fast move pressure, but does generate energy slightly slower than Fire Spin. Moving into the final position, we're going to be taking a look at Shiny Lurantis, and this moveset has absolutely blown my mind. Lurantis' preferred quick move is still Fury Cutter, however Leakage does have some merit. It's not a bad move, to be honest. It's a 2-turn move generating 3.5 EPT, so it's kind of middle of the road and you do get same type attack bonus. However, the charge moves today is something I am absolutely bamboozled by. I can't think of a single grass Pokemon that's got access to Leaf Blade when Leaf Blade is not the preferred move. Sceptile has access to Frenzy Plant, it's had its com day, however Leaf Blade is still preferred because it is 2.0 DPE, 35 energy for 70 damage, which is incredible. It's actually better than Body Slam, and Body Slam is widely recognised as one of the best moves already. Today's featured battler Spooky Boy has removed Leaf Blade from his Lurantis and he has TM'd to the new Trailblaze. Trailblaze, in comparison, is 50 energy for 65 damage, returning a very modest 1.3 damage per energy. So if you're wondering why I said I was bamboozled, Trailblaze is 15 more energy and actually still does 5 less damage. However, it does have a 100% chance to raise your own attack. So let's see if that attack buff is going to give us any niche scenarios where it comes in clutch. If we manage to farm something down when we're boosted, we can actually throw a boosted superpower at something. Is this the move to go for? I'll be honest, I'm going to say absolutely not. But as always, every day is a school day. I'm here to be proved wrong. If you're a regular viewer of mine, surely there's got to be one person that regularly watches my absolutely terrible content. You'll know that I've only featured my own battles once this season. I've still only done 2 sets in GBL. If this video gets 500 likes, I'm going to give Shadow Ledian another try. Last season, I got absolutely clapped and I think I'm still traumatized. That's probably why I've only done 2 sets. I went 5 and 20 because Ledian was absolutely relentlessly terrible. However, 500 likes, I'll give it another go using the newly buffed Aerial Ace. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we see the battle of the Psychic types. Girafarig goes straight for the Psychic Fangs. The opponent invests a very questionable shield. They bank some energy, pivot out into Skarmory. Spooky Boy responds with Ninetales, and holy crap, look at the Ember damage. Ninetales goes straight for the Weather Wall. The opponent invests their final Protect shield. Spooky Boy with a 2 to no shield advantage. Gonna shield up the Sky attack. Can we get the full Ember farm down before Skarmory makes Sky attack number 2? Yes, we can. Ninetales with residual energy. Good to go. Back out comes Metachan. They need to throw the Psychic to take us out. The opponent goes for the Ice Punch bait. We do not shield baits in this household. Spooky Boy fires off the Scorching Sands. Metachan now gets the full counter farm down. However, we exited with a charge move on the Giraffe. We throw the Psychic Fang. Psychic Fang secures the knockout. The opponent's final Pokemon is every meta abuser's favourite tin can Registeel. Girafarig throws the Psychic Fangs, lowering Registeel's defense. We then throw Psychic Fang number 2 on the CMP tie. My god, this game's over. The opponent already down below half health. Girafarig has done its job. Spooky Boy opts to let the Giraffe go down, sending in Lurantis. Lurantis could have went for the superpower immediately, taking the dub. However, Spooky Boy looking to play with his food. We shield up the Focus Blast, over farm, fire off the Trailblaze, and Trailblaze is going to be enough to take that game. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Girafarig into Stunfisk. When you've got Thunderbolt, you can normally only hit this bear trap for resisted. However, we can now hit for neutral with the Trailblaze. Spooky Boy doesn't even build up to the Trailblaze, and the opponent invests a very poor shield. This is the early rank, so not everyone is counting. Spooky Boy, undeterred, farms up, fires off Psychic Fang, number 2, and the opponent double shields. Yikes. Girafarig definitely done its job. We allow it to go down. We can now send in Ninetales. Ninetales looks for the Ember farm down. The opponent makes the last second rock slide. Spooky Boy invests his first protect shield. The opponent then greet our Ninetales with the Quagman. We look to catch a mud bomb onto Lurantis. The opponent doesn't throw. We commit a shield and the opponent actually on Sludge Bomb. Holy smokes, that definitely isn't the preferred moveset, but would have hit for a lot of super effective damage. The opponent then pivots out into Defense Deoxys. If we was on Fury Cutter and Leaf Blade, this would be a pretty dominant matchup. However, the opponent fires off the resisted Thunderbolt. Spooky Boy now farms up, throws the boosted Superpower. Superpower doesn't knock out, but we get the Leafage farm down. Back out comes the Quagman, the Leafage tearing apart Quag. Spooky Boy again, having some fun, going for the no bubble. They survive the Superpower. We go for the wham bam combo play, serving up that Big Mac and the fries, and Scorching Sands secures the dub. In the next battle, we see Girafarig into Scrafty. What the heck is this, a Snarl Scrafty? I'll be honest, I didn't even know Scrafty had Snarl. The opponent running Snarl and Power Up Punch. Again, I'm bamboozled. This is going to be another shambolic commentary session. We land the Trailblaze, which lands for huge neutral damage. Spooky Boy tanks the next Power Up Punch. Girafarig gets the double kick farm down. Out comes Nidoqueen. This time, operating on the correct move of Poison Jab, we throw the Psychic Fang, forcing a Protect Shield and lowering Nidoqueen's defense. Ninetales comes in. The opponent doesn't even build up to a potential Earth Power. We tank the Poison Fang. Spooky Boy over farming, looking to throw the Scorching Sands. I'll be honest, this is massive overkill with the lower defense. Scorching Sands secures the knockout. The opponent's final Pokemon is a Shadow Gardevoir, and Gardevoir evidently forgot his defense stat. As I've never seen Leafage do so much damage, Spooky Boy throws a charge move on alignment. I think that's going to cost him, as Gardevoir manages to fast move, beat us down, and we die with 2 shields. Moving on to the next one. We pick up a slightly negative but playable lead. Our double kicks are double resisted by Jellicent's Ghost typing. We do single resist the Hexes. Due to normal double resisting Ghost and Psychic taking super effective, we full send the Trailblaze, which does respectable damage. The opponent going to outpace us to the next surf, and see Spooky Boy invest the protection with an overfarm, throw the Psychic Fang from this range will either knock out or force a Protect Shield. The opponent commit a shield. Giraffe then wins CMP. The opponent actually choose to 2-shield their lead. Spooky Boy very happy with Shadow Giraffe's contribution to this battle. Elect to save his shield, losing lead but keeping shield advantage. In comes Lurantis. Lurantis gets the Leafage farm down. The opponent now send out Metachan, and Metachan is going to be met with the Trailblaze. I think this again is a matchup where we really would like Leaf Blade, as 2 Leaf Blades would knock out. It looks like 2 Trailblazes will also get the job done. However, it's going to take us longer to get there. And as a consequence, we're going to take a lot more counter damage. However, we are now going to be 2-stage boosted. The opponent's final Pokemon is Reggie. No, we could have thrown a double boosted Superpower, which probably would have done about 65-70% of Registeel's health. However, we pivot out into Ninetales. Ninetales easily tanks any one move. We're going to be able to Ember farm down and take that game. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Altaria. Yikes, I think Altaria probably beats all 3 of our Pokemon. We farm up, throw the Psychic Fang. Psychic Fang isn't going to do a lot of damage. However, the opponent shield, pretending they're a Team Rocket grunt, looking to shield the very first move, regardless of what we throw. Spooky Boy undeterred, fires off Psychic Fang. Number 2, the opponent then throw on alignment. Spooky Boy shields up a Dragon Pulse. Holy crap, I wasn't expecting that. Spooky Boy then farms up, throws the next Psychic Fangs. We almost knock out, we get the double kick farm down. So what the heck do I know? Apparently Altaria doesn't beat all 3 of our Pokemon when the opponent makes some very strange plays. The opponent then shield up the resisted Psychic Fang onto Gardevoir, and here comes Ninetales. Ninetales usually pretty dominant in this matchup, but the opponent actually running Confusion, which hits us for neutral. We shield up the Psychic. The opponent then pivots out into Shaman. Shaman getting sacrificed to the Pokegods. Today's featured battler should be called Naughty Boy, not Spooky Boy. He goes for a very disrespectful BM Scorching Sands. We get the Ember farm down. Back out comes Gardevoir, and we're looking to throw Scorching Sand number 2, and we take that game. The Giraffe into the Bear Trap. Does Spooky Boy this time build up to the Trailblaze? Looks like he's building up to it. The opponent then pivot out into Primarina. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. They near get one-shot Girafarig. Gets the resisted double kick farm down. There's nothing more beautiful than seeing a fairy get one shot, I've got to say. The opponent then send out a Fire Spin Talonflame. Definitely not the play. If you're going to use Talonflame, I think you need to Elite TM it to Incinerate. However, I do not encourage use of this stupid Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death. The opponent gets the full Fire Spin farm down, and then Yola the Brave Bird at our Ninetales. Back out comes Stunfisk. We still got one Protect Shield, too high behind. We see Spooky Boy invest it on the Earthquake. Great shield from Spooky Boy. We're then farming up, throwing the Scorching Sands. I think the correct play would be to throw the double Weatherball, but what do I know? Spooky Boy then looks to catch Earthquake number 2 onto Lurantis like an absolute savage. The first few weeks of the season really are the Wild West. The opponent then only threw 4 mud shots. Please don't throw a Muddy Water. Oh god, I can't take much more of this. We then managed to get the full Leafage farm down. Back out comes Talonflame. We're going to fire off the resisted Trailblaze. Trailblaze doesn't knock out, but one more Leafage is enough to take that game. Oh, come on, Jamie. Pull yourself together. Moving on to the next battle, we see Girafarig into Dubwall, the battle of the double kick users. Both Giraffe and this Ram are going to reach charge moves at the same speed. The opponent recognising they're going to lose CMP, opt to shield up the Psychic Fang. The opponent then play to a CMP tie that they do not win. Shout out to my Factions teammate or Battle Frontier teammate, Homeslice Henry, for that quote. The opponent actually opted to shield. The opponent then looked to snipe with knockdown. They get the wing attack farm down, and here comes Ninetales. Spooky Boy with a 2-0 shield advantage opts to shield the charge move. The opponent throw the Nightshade. That definitely isn't the play, and as much as I like to talk a bit of trash and have some fun, on a more serious note, if you're a newer battler, go over to PvPoke, or just put PvPoke into Google. It'll bring up a website. You can find out every Pokemon on their preferred moveset, and if you run optimal movesets, you're going to win a lot more matches. However, getting back into the commentary, Spooky Boy hits the Weather Wall immediately, anticipating Dubwall coming back in. The opponent actually absorbed the resisted damage onto Lantern. Nice play from the opponent. Then pivot out into Dubwall. Spooky Boy shields the first body slam, tanks the second. We can now just over farm. We throw the Trailblaze. Trailblaze going to be securing the knockout, and then these boosted Leafages are going to tear through Lantern. Back out comes Lantern. We make the Trailblaze on the CMP tie. This is boosted and is going to vanquish this silly electric fish back to their Pokeball. Giraffe into Steelix, a pretty neutral matchup. The double kicks are super effective. The opponent has access to Crunch, which hit us as super effective. We go straight for a Psychic Fang and the opponent shields. So again, much like PvPoke, if you're a newer battler, look for a website called pokemoves.com. On that website, you can list every single Pokemon. It'll tell you the fast move counts, using every single quick move to every available charge move. That will enable you to get a good gist of whether the opponent is at the move that you need to shield or not. Out comes Shiftry, and the opponent shields up the double resisted Psychic Fang. So let's talk about something real quick. Shout out to my Discord, which is linked down below if you want to join the Discord. I was watching one of my members stream, and someone asked a question on what's the counts for the new Mudshot Greedent. So Mudshot Greedent, I know that Mudshot generates 9 energy. Even if you don't know that, I've used Flygon, which uses Mudshot and Dragonclaw. Dragonclaw and Body Slam both cost 35 energy, so I know it's going to be straight 4s. And then for Crunch, Mudshot and Poison Sting are a clone of each other. Drapion is the channel mascot, so I instantly knew that Crunch was going to take straight 5s. It's really important to have this knowledge if you want to advance in GBL. So then regardless of whether new moves come out, like we said earlier, Trailblaze costs 50 energy, so I've already got that glued in my mind. I then can know what quick move the opponent's using. I'll know whether they're at a charge move or not. That's paramount if you want to advance and get good at this game. So for those of you looking to study, wanting to get that knowledge in your mind, again, head over to PvPoke, go to the move section, type in fast moves, and you can see how much energy each quick move generates. So for example, Mudshot, 4.5 EBT, is a quick move using 2 turns. Every single Mudshot that the opponent throws will give them 9 energy. It's quite sad to say, but unfortunately, unless you're going to study, you're just not going to advance up the rankings. I've got a lot of friends that hit Legend every single season, and they spend so much time studying, a lot of time watching other content, etc. You need to be on top of your game. It's actually a lot more technical than just tapping your phone. However, getting back into the commentary, Girafarig into yet another Fire Spin Talonflame. We fire off the Psychic Fangs. The opponent doesn't shield. We're also not going to shield. We tank the flame charge just about. The opponent then get the fire spin farm down. We now send out Ninetales. Spooky Boy looking for the full ember farm down. He doesn't quite get it. We are going to respect a boosted Brave Bird, and the opponent does YOLO the bird. Good shield from Spooky Boy. Ninetales now has a whole heap of residual energy. Good to go. Out comes Azumarill, aka the mighty blue mouse. We fire off the Scorching Sands, force some chip damage, and pivot out into Lurantis. The opponent's final Pokemon is the Bear Trap Galarian Stunfisk. Okay, Trailblaze could come in clutch here. The first Trailblaze forces a Protect Shield. We don't need to shield up the rock slide. We're pretty glass if we do survive one. The mud shots are resisted. We are going to have to shield up this next one. Can we win this game? I don't know. Spooky Boy farming up. We throw the superpower on the CMP type. If the opponent shields, this is game over. The opponent does commit that shield. With a lower defense, Rock Slide is going to take us out. Azumarill, super healthy. The opponent pivot out, sending out Azumarill. They are going to be able to outpace us. I think even a resisted play rough is going to knock us out from this range. We actually just about survive. However, Scorching Sands won't knock out, and one more bubble is going to be all she wrote. GG's to that opponent. Giraffe into the balloon. A neutral-ish matchup, however I'd much prefer to be Drifblim. However, obviously we have got the threat of a Thunderbolt, not that we've got it all built up to it. However, the opponent again shield early. The opponent going to debuff us with an Icy Wind. Girafarig shrugs off the damage, then farms up, fires off Psychic Fang number 2, and you're going to see it really wasn't worth a shield, Mr. Opponent. That did pretty much nothing. Spooky Boy opting to shield up the Icy Wind, knowing that the Giraffe does outpace the Hot Air Balloon. We then go for yet another Psychic Fang. This one gets Drifblim down deep into the red. We then make yet another Psychic Fang. This one will either knock out or force the final Protect Shield. The opponent invests that final Protect Shield. We then snipe with an Ember. And finally we get to see the moment that I've been waiting for far too long. This stupid brick wall has been scaring off fire types in the Great League. However, we now get to have our redemption. The double super effective Scorching Sand lands for huge damage, rocking this brick wall deep into the red. Spooky Boy opts to save his final shield for Lurantis, and that looks to be a very good call. This is only 5 counters. No, Spooky Boy, don't shield up the power up punch. The opponent then fire off power up punch number 2 as soon as they get it. However, Trailblaze going to get him deep into the red. This boosted pup gonna hurt. Lurantis survives on a sliver of HP. We've got the boosted superpower. Boosted superpower should be enough to secure the knockout. We need to pivot. We do pivot, and we manage to Simul KO and take that game. Very close battle, but we get the job done. Huge shout out to one of my Discord members, Spooky Boy, for the battle submission. If you want to join the Discord, see some live streams, it is linked down below. So talking about today's video, do I think Lurantis running Trailblaze is the way to go? Absolutely not. Stick to Leaf Blade. It's just such a good move. It really is not worth getting rid of such a good move on a really glassy grass type. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to a battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.